Hey you're watching a clip from the DynamiteGizmo podcast. This is not the full episode, but if you want to see the full episode, make sure to click the link in the description. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Do it now. Here's the clip. Now also this weekend, co-main event, we had Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France. Sorry, Kai Kara-France. It's not France. It's not Franque. It's France. Get it right. And just as we all suspected, or not all of us, but some of us, and me specifically, we thought Pantoja was going to take it, and guess what he did? He creamed. He put jelly whipped cream all over his donuts, squished him across the canvas, and made Kai Kara-France slip in that jelly. And let me talk about the Flyweight Division now, shall we? I need to talk about the Flyweight Division. I need to. Do you remember when UFC first kicked off back in 1993? Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt you do. Because you were born in the 2000s, you silly goose. Maybe not all of you. I certainly wasn't. But even though you don't remember it kicking off in 1993, what you do remember is this. For the longest time, forever, there was one division that ruled them all. Can you remember this? Even if you don't remember, you can at least take a guess. One division that brought excitement to fans who didn't give a single damn about grappling, jiu-jitsu, or anything involving a takedown. That division was heavyweight. You had the biggest guys in the sport in a huge weight window to fight within. Add in a cocktail of every PED imaginable, and you had two Goliaths smashing heads with one guarantee. Someone was going to sleep. And not by a choke, but by a punch or a kick. Back then, people didn't care about the fight IQ or ground transitions. They wanted violence, blood, brutality, but nobody understood or even cared to understand the chess match of a ground control match. They just wanted haymakers and highlight reels. And to be fair, it was a different time. The UFC was still brand new. Even today, compared to boxing, MMA is still in its infancy. But just like any sport, things evolve, rules change, exceptions shift. And speaking of evolution, did you know that the Flyweight Division didn't even exist until March of 2012? The UFC went nearly 2 full decades without it. Why? Because the idea back then was that the lighter weight classes were boring and wouldn't draw any attention. No knockouts equaled no dollars, baby. And for a while, that was the case. But here comes Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, the first UFC flyweight champion. He didn't just introduce the division, he dominated it. 11 consecutive title defenses, the longest running streak in UFC history. 6 performance of the night bonuses, 3 fight of the night bonuses, and some of the cleanest, most technical submissions we've ever seen in the octagon. But despite all that, the world just looked away. Even Mighty Mouse himself said on his own podcast that one of his producers used to leave the bar or change the channel when Mighty Mouse was headlining a UFC card. There was no hype. There was no marketing. There was no buzz. It was like he was fighting in the shadows, appreciated by only the hardcore fans. And even then, it was a niche crowd. But now, things are shifting. We need to look at this past weekend. The heavyweight division, it's shrinking, literally, with only 30 active fighters. It's the smallest division in the UFC right now. And most of them, they're chunky and they're slow. And they're not on PEDs anymore. The division's not just thin, it's sluggish. It's thin in the sense that there's not enough fighters, but it's thick in the sense that the fighters are fat. That one super fight that we were all banking on, John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, that's gone. And let's be real, Aspinall is the only exciting hope that we have left in the heavyweight division. Meanwhile, the flyweight division is booming. Pantoja is on an 8-fight win streak, with 4 of those being title defenses. The skill level, the speed, the fluidity, it's all finally being noticed. Yes, Demetrious did it, but no one noticed or cared because they didn't have this mindset. Sure, you may not get a walk-off. You may not get walk-off knockouts every weekend like you might at heavyweight. But in flyweight, you get blistering speed, unreal scrambles, elite level submission, and just nonstop action. There's always something going on. It's hard to keep up. MMA has evolved. Even the casual fans are starting to understand that the sport isn't just about knockouts anymore. It's about the craft, the technique, the pace. And when you really get it, flyweight becomes one of the most thrilling divisions in the UFC. And honestly, I think it might be one of my favorite divisions right now. I'd put it in top 3. I might even put it in top 2. Not only did we just witness an amazing flyweight event this weekend, but just take a look at Joshua Van himself. Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. Not only was it a fight of the night, it might even be fight of the fucking year. No takedowns. Not even one. Just a relentless slugfest, ending in a 3rd-round KO with over 400 significant strikes between the two of them. Unheard of. Not just in flyweight, but in any division. So you're normally expecting flyweight to have takedowns and grappling and all this stuff like I just talked about. But look what we're getting now. We're getting slugfests in flyweight as well. Like, come on, dude. And to top it off, we got something we almost never see in this division. We had a post-fight face-off in the octagon after Pantoja won his fight. Take a look here. We don't need to go through it all, do we? I don't think we do. I don't even know if I can. I might have to cut that part out because a lot of times when I show UFC footage, I get a copyright claim and then my video gets blocked. So let's hope that doesn't happen. We need to step back towards Joshua Van here for a second. Am I lagging? I don't know. Joshua Van, who only joined the UFC in 2023, just 2 years ago, he went from an unranked nobody to number 12 to number 1 contender all in under 2 years. He's now 8-1 in the UFC, 15-2 overall, and next in line for Pantoja's title. Just when we thought Pantoja had no fresh challengers, bada boom! Here we are, another fight of the year contender on the horizon. And now, Pantoja has moved up to number 5 on the pound-for-pound fighters list. So what do you think? Huh? Is the flyweight division finally getting the respect that it deserves? Does Pantoja deserve his spot on the pound-for-pound rankings? Or are you still holding out for the heavyweights and could care less about the little guys? Let me know in the comments below. Rock and roll, baby.
Tap here to watch the full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast.